everybody, I'm back again with another video. This time I'm installing a cheap oil catch can from Amazon. Now even though it's cheap, it's actually pretty good quality and it's universal for most vehicles. So let's get installing it after I talk about it right now. So I got this oil catch can off of Amazon, and even though it's a inexpensive oil catch can, it came with a lot of things that I really liked. It's 100% aluminum. It does have a baffle on it. It came with all the connectors and the hoses and mounting hardware. Now, one quick thing about the hose, it's not the highest quality hose, and I would recommend that you replace that first thing. In fact, that's the first thing I threw away out of this kit. But the rest of it seems pretty good. So let's get started with the install. So I've got everything spread out on the ground right now. I've got my oil catch can, I've got some cutters, a wrench, some screwdrivers. Now on the oil catch can itself, I installed this L bracket that had this slot in the back to allow me to adjust it up and down. Now you can get this at any hardware store. It's really easy to install, and I used the provided nuts and screws that came with the kit itself. I like the overall design of the catch can. It does have an O-ring on the bottom of the can between the two pieces, which should keep it nice and sealed, and it also has a dipstick. And I utilized larger connectors, the 9/16 connectors on this catch can, which should help with the flow. So let's install this sucker in the car. Luckily, Mini Coopers come with this nice little spot, this little ledge that allows you to put a screw and mount your catch can in pretty much the perfect location for it. I've already test fitted and seen that I'm going to have plenty of room to mount it. And like I said, it's going to be easier for me to check the fluid with this dipstick than having to take it off all the time and then unscrew the bottom can. And I'm showing you here that the O-ring at the bottom of the can should allow it to keep a nice tight seal and not leak. Here is the baffle part of the catch can, which allows it to drip down and not get sucked back up into the other side and into your turbocharger. So this was very important and something that you should be looking for whenever you're purchasing an oil catch can. If it doesn't have a baffle, then you should probably move on and look for a different oil catch can. I will have to get back to you guys about how long it takes to fill up this bottom can. I'm pretty sure that it's going to take me a while, so I'll check it once a month probably, just to see where I get on the dipstick, and when I get closer to that line, I'll empty it out and do another video to show you how many months it took to fill it up. So I needed to get some connectors in order to make these different size hoses work, and what I found was that these ones work the best. So they're Shark Bite PEX connectors, and they're made out of brass. So the size I got was 1 inch to 3/4 reduction, and I got 190 and one straight through. I have a nut driver, and I got some clamps, and the hose is a PCV hose. And I'll put all the sizes for everything and all of the links for the equipment in case you are interested in the description. And the unit itself came with these connectors. They're chrome, they're not bad, so I decided to utilize those ones, and I used the larger ones, which I believe are 9/16. So let's get to mounting this unit. I already put a screw in here. These are like rack mount screws that I had for my computer. It happened to have a little slip location which could hold the nut in place, and I found that it was plenty strong to hold up this catch can. So you just screw it right in, and I recommend mounting it so that you can figure out what the lengths of your hose need to be. So the next thing that you need to do is figure out how long your hose needs to be in order to connect to the PCV. So I'm going to do a test fit real quick, tighten it up just so I can get my length before I cut this hose. And I would recommend cutting the hose a little bit longer than you need at first, Otherwise, if you cut a little short, if you mess up, you might not have enough hose in the end. Now, if you buy plenty of hose, that's not going to make a difference. I bought pretty much the exact amount of hose I needed. So I've got the 90 in there. It looks pretty good. I've cut both sides. I'm going to put some straps on there. So now just take the remaining hose and place it up on the oil catch can and figure out what your lengths are going to be. Cut it and then add the connectors, same as before. Let's do it. So now that I've done all my final cuts, it's just a matter of putting all of the connectors and clamps together and getting a final fit on everything, and then doing a test start to make sure I don't hear or see any leaks. Ready?
Yep.
Anyway guys, that's my video. Hopefully you found it informative. If you did, please click like. If you really liked it, please subscribe. I just wanted to show how easy it was to put a oil catch can in, especially in a Mini Cooper, and I highly recommend it if you want to keep your turbo clean. Anyway, that's my video. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna get the tech out of here. Later.